Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today we're going to ask the question and actually take a serious look at the question, what is more important for overall health and longevity? Is it resistance training or is it cardio? I really actually hate this comparison because people try to make it sound like it's an either or scenario. Like you have to pick one or the other, like you're engaged in some sort of monogamous relationship where guys are like, I got to pick between blondes and redheads. It's not like you're married entirely to one form of exercise and you could never, ever do anything else for the rest of your life. Because I'm going to be honest here, you really should be doing both. If a person really and truly cares about their health, their longevity, they should absolutely be doing both. But I think the real question becomes here which one it should be a higher priority. And historically, going all the way back 40 or 50 years, a lot of doctors and other people said, yeah, you need to be active. You need to get up and do low intensity cardio. You need to walk. That's what you need to do. Maybe even a little light jogging for 20, 30 minutes every day. And you know what? We know that for sedentary populations, to get up and walk for 30 minutes a day absolutely reduces morbidity all the way around. It actually will dramatically and measurably reduce your chances of having at least a dozen different medical disorders. All right, dramatic impact. But push come to shove, it doesn't even compare with resistance training. And by resistance training, I don't mean getting on a lat pull down machine or a leg extension machine once a week. I'm talking about free weights, barbells, strength training, not just resistance training, but actually training for strength. And I'm not talking about nonsense where you've had studies lately try to claim that whatever 30 rep sets equals the same strength gains as 10 rep sets. That's irrelevant because neither one of those are for people who are serious about their strength. All right, neither one of those is ideally building strength. But strength training actually does more for your overall health, fitness, and quality of life than any other form of exercise. And I would suggest to you that exercises like the squat, barbell squat, and the barbell deadlift are probably the exercises that are going to give you the highest quality of life. If you had to narrow it down to a minimal exercise minimalism, those two lifts. Now, I would never recommend you only do those two lifts. I don't do just those two lifts. But those two lifts are going to give you the most. And why do I say that? Because they combine two of the most important elements that we look at as far as longevity and quality of life. When I'm talking longevity, I'm talking reduced cancer, reduced osteoporosis, everything else, and full body strength. Number one, they load the spine. All right, exercises that put weight, load bearing on the actual spine, cause your back to last longer. Now, I'm not talking about the guy who deadlifts 800 pounds in competitions and ends up hurting himself eventually. I'm talking about nice, moderately heavy 5 rep sets with a deadlift with a weight that you can actually handle. All right, with a weight that you're capable of handling with good form, injury-free. Strength training. Load-bearing exercises causes your back to last longer, causes your hips to last longer too. Those are usually what you're looking at is degeneration of your back, and hip fractures lead to enormous loss of quality of life in elderly populations. The other big deal of what they do is leg strength. The reason I bring that up, we saw some big meta-analysis done last year, didn't we? Looking at strength training and different things. And what was the biggest correlation they found with memory, improved cognition, clarity of thinking for people over 60 years old? What single factor had the highest correlation? Their leg strength. Now, we haven't done multivariate analysis on that, and there's other possible explanations for why people who exercise their legs might have better cognition and everything. It probably has a lot to do with other lifestyle factors associated with anyone who squats or deadlifts or leg presses or any of that. There's other lifestyle factors going on. That's reasonable. But we know that leg strength seems to have the highest correlation with memory, cognitive ability, all of that stuff. So in short, exercises that are load bearing on your spine and that train the legs for strength are the closest thing we have found to a fountain of youth in the human body. As far as maintaining quality of life as we get older, they win out. Now, what about all the other things? Well, full body resistance training, we know lowers cancer rates by 50%. Well, that's an improved quality of life. You can cut your chances in half of getting cancer. Hell, that's almost better. That's actually better than most diet interventions. Even diets that are intended to keep cancer lower don't produce results quite as good as strength training. Now, when you combine them together, you've got a winner, don't you? You eat a balanced, healthy diet and you strength train. All right, there's your winner. You want to reduce cancer. What about diabetes? Strength training. People who engage in regular strength training get diabetes at 70% of the lower rate. You guys seen the morbidity on diabetes? Life-destroying. Type 2 diabetes is a life-destroying disease. Weight training alone reduces your chances of developing it by 70%. And that's just regular weight training. Doesn't mean even hard training. Any weight training does that. Anything. You've got that. What else? Heart disease, cardiovascular disease. Lowers your chances of all of those across the board. Lowers your chances of obesity because you have a higher metabolic rate. Strength training, particularly full body strength training, has an enormous amount of health benefits. And what about every other element to your life? If you've got to think about the things as we get older, I already see it in guys my age. I'm turned 41 in less than a month now. Actually, exactly a month from now, I turn 41. I know guys already. I know guys I went to high school with who've had to have a hip replacement already. Jesus Christ, hip replacement. At my age? You know, I've got guys I went to high school with who've had heart attacks already. All this stuff that reduces your quality of life. What's going to increase your quality of life the most for someone who's a little bit older? Getting their cardiovascular up a bit, their resting heart rate, or being able to pick stuff up. Meaning, if you take a person who's, would have at 50 years old only been able to deadlift 100 pounds, and you have him able to deadlift 350, his overall strength for just being able to pick something up is 3.5 times that. Meaning for him to have to pick up the groceries or a box or just do whatever menial task he needs to do in his day-to-day life, they're all going to be 3.5 times easier. Plus, he's probably not going to need a hip replacement. Probably not going to need high blood pressure meds. Probably won't need a stent in his heart. Probably won't need insulin. All these other things. So when you start looking at all these factors, yeah, cardio has its place, and I think everyone should do at least low-intensity cardio. I think every human being on earth should be doing cardio because it's easy to do and it's low impact. But if we're looking for your fountain of youth, your one set of physical activities that is going to improve your performance across the broadest number of domains, stealing some CrossFit terms there, which they would agree with this. They all resistance train, or they do a whole lot of resistance training. So what's going to reduce the greatest number of factors that increase morbidity? Strength training, full body strength training, big full body exercises have the most bang for your buck in terms of overall health benefits. The health benefits are so enormous that at this point, the evidence is so compelling that it's almost should be borderline malpractice for medical doctors to not prescribe resistance training. And I mean the real deal, guys, like what you guys see me doing right here, doing some sets of deadlifts. All right, this is full body strength training. What you're demonstrating here is what I'm demonstrating is probably the single most important factor for reducing morbidity and improving quality of life as we age. And you got a lot of these younger kids out there, listen, they're only in the gym for the abs and the aesthetics. And you know what? I don't care, because if that's what you want to do and you're someone who's willing to put in the time to learn that now in your younger age, you're less likely to have the problems that your parents and grandparents have. I don't care. If that's what the hell it takes to get these kids in the gym, to get them under a barbell, under a squat rack, is to improve their abs, then okay, then it's fine. At least they're in the gym. They're in the gym. I might think that goal is silly, and a lot of you might too, and it is silly. but it gets them in the gym. It gets them to eat their vegetables. If it gets them to eat broccoli and eat more fiber and to get under a heavy squat bar, I guess it's a positive thing. So it's not really that silly at the end of the day, is it? So in other words, guys, do your squats, do your deadlifts. And you should probably do some cardio also. It would be a real good idea. You don't actually have to pick between them. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.